Good morning all and welcome back to our YouTube channel AgriAddict. So today we will be discussing regarding the preparation and ARS exam writing strategy in the subject genetics and plant breeding. Myself Dr. Karthik Sir. So I have completed my UG in agriculture from College of Agriculture Hassan and I have completed my masters in genetics and plant breeding from Banaras Hindu University, and thereafter I proceeded to ICAR in New Delhi for completing my PhD in genetics and plant breeding. After completing my PhD, I worked as a scientist in Central Silk Board for almost 2 years from 2023 to 2025. Afterwards, I also written ARS examinations. In the ARS exam, I have given 2 attempts. In the first attempt, I went till interview, and the second attempt, I got cleared the exam, and now I have joined as a scientist in ICAR ISRL Lucknow. So today, to start with, what are the opportunities? What are the opportunities after completing genetics and MSc in genetics and plant breeding? There are 2 different kinds of opportunities. The first one is private, and second one is the government opportunities. In case of private, we have lot many opportunities to enter into the private seed companies. But in case of government sector, there are mainly two different categories. First is technical category, and second one is scientific category. For the technical category, we can go as a technical assistant or a senior technical officer, and in case of scientific position, we can go as a subject matter specialist or ARS, that is agriculture research scientist in our subject, that is genetics and plant breeding, and we are also eligible for plant genetic resources. So most students who qualify or who complete their masters in genetics and plant breeding, their main aim is to do ARS exam. Main aim is to qualify their ARS in genetics and plant breeding. So today we will be discussing what is the strategy, what is this ARS exam, what is the strategy, how to prepare, how to write the notes, how to prepare, and how to write in the exam. So today let us understand what is this ARS exam. So ARS stands for Agriculture Research Scientist. This exam is conducted by a board called ASRB. So these exams generally they release notification once in 2 years, and they will upload the results also once in 2 years. So why we have to go for ARS exam? Because this post is the topmost position in agriculture. Whoever does their MSc or PhD in agriculture, this is the topmost post where they can go for the service in government of India. So let us discuss in detail about this ARS exam. In ARS exam, there are 3 different levels of examination. The first is prelims, the second is mains, and third is interview. Generally, the prelims is conducted for 150 marks, the mains is for 300 marks, and interview is for 45 marks. So let us discuss how the exam, what is the time required, how many questions we have to attend. We'll discuss all this for prelims, mains, and viva here. Okay, in case of prelims exam, this is an online examination. Here we have to attend 150 questions in 2 hours, that is 120 minutes. So these questions are multiple choice questions. Each question will be having 4 options. We have to choose 1 correct options. In case of right answer, you will get 1 mark. If you have answered wrong, so 1/3 marks of the will be deducted for the wrong answer. For each wrong answer, there will be a deduction of 1/3 portion of the marks. So if you have not answered that question, then there is 0 marks. For that particular question, there will be no marking. This is regarding the pattern for prelims. And coming to the mains, uh, it is generally offline. We have to pen and paper exam. They will be providing the questionnaire of 45 to 50 pages where they will be mentioning the questions, and we have to write answers in each page. Okay, so this is almost 300 marks exam, and which we need to cover in 3 hours. So this is very difficult, and we have to plan very strategically to complete this 300 marks paper in 3 hours. And the last phase of the exam is viva, that is interview. So generally this interview will go for 30 to 35 minutes. It depends upon the experts who are sitting in the interview, and this exam is for 45 marks. So let us discuss prelims in detail. In case of prelims, as I told, in this exam they will be giving 150 questions, and it should be answered in 120 minutes. The highest marks you can score is 150. That if you have answered all the 150 questions and all the 150 questions are correct, then you will be scoring 150 marks. If you are if any of the one question is wrong, for every wrong answer 1/3 portion of the marks for one question will be deducted. That's what, like, for one question, for every correct answer they will give 1 marks. Suppose if you have if it is wrong, then they will deduct 0.33 marks. Okay, this is what. Suppose if you have not attended that question, then the marks is 0. That means there will be no scoring, and there will be negative. There will be no negative for this question also. Okay, so how why prelims is done? See, basically in India, almost from all the universities, from all the institutes, there are many MSc students who will be writing the ARS exams. So if you consider all of them, almost they will come as a thousands together. Maybe a 6,000, 7,000 exam numbers will come. So to bring down these numbers, they will be conducting prelims exams. So this is mainly, as I told, this is only a criteria is only qualifying exam. Okay, this is only for qualifying to mains. That means here all whoever the students, they have completed their MSc in genetics and plant breeding, they can attend this exam. After attending, based on the two criteria, they will be selecting the candidates for the mains. The first criteria I have mentioned here, the first criteria, the minimum qualifying marks. The minimum, if you are from unreserved, that is if you are a general student, you have to score at least 45%, that is 67.5 marks you have to score. Suppose you are EWS or OBC student, you have to score at least 60 marks, that is 40% of the total. And if you are from SC, ST or any physically disabled background, you have to score 35% of the marks, that is 52.5. This is out of 150. So this is the first criteria. And the second criteria is based on the number of seats. Okay. Suppose if there are 9 seats in OBC, they will call 1:15. For every one seat, there will be, they call 15 candidates for writing mains exam. For 9 seats, they will be calling almost 135 students to write mains exam. Okay, hope you have understood everything. If you are having any doubts regarding how, like, how they will be, if you want more information regarding this also, you can comment. We'll be answering on that, or else we will make a new video and we will also share that video also. The next is, once you have qualified the prelims, the next main exam is descriptive kind of exam, that is mains. So here, this exam is conducted for 300 marks, and the time duration is only 3 hours. You have to note down, the time duration is only 3 hours, that is 180 minutes. So the mains paper is generally divided into 3 parts. The first part is contains 25 questions. Each questions carry 5 marks each. Okay. And the second part is consists of 10 questions and each carries 10 marks. And the third part contains 5 questions, each carries 15 marks. So they have also given that for 5 marks question, you have to write only answer in 50 words. For 10 marks question, you have to write the answer in 100 words. And in 15 marks question, you have to write the answer for 150 words. It is not like that you have to restrict to 50 words only. So it is always better if you write more number of words. And we should not always, it should not be more than 100. For suppose if they have given 50, it should not be more than 100 also, because if you keep on writing for one particular answer, if you cover more time for that particular question, you would be not able to answer the second question. So time management is also important. So you have to restrict, like suppose if they have asked for 50 words, you have to restrict to 75 to 80 words. Similarly for 10 marks and 50 marks questions also. So as I told, in prelims, the main qualification criteria is based on the marks and the number of seats. And in mains, what is the qualification criteria? So the mains qualification criteria is based on the marks as well as the number of seats. Here, the marks, as they have said in the prelims, they have very clearly said that it is 45%, 40%, and 35% for general, OBC, and SC ST. But here they have not relieved. What is the minimum cutoff? They have not relieved. See here they are told that board has not yet. It is in the discussion of the board, and board will decide what is the minimum cutoff after conducting the exam. And the second criteria is the one is to 3. The second criteria is 1 is to 3. Suppose there are 9 seats in general, so 9 3 is a 27. Only 27 candidates will be selected for attending interview. This is the second criteria. Hope you have understood the criteria, like what is mains exam, what are the different exam different. Hope you have understood the mains exam and what are the different kinds of questions they will be asked. What is the marks for each question, and how many in how many sentences or how many words you have to answer each question. So suppose if you want more information, you can also give in comments, so that we will be making a new video, or we will be answering in the comment section. So this is what very important. So strategy making. So strategy is just not reading. We'll be writing, and it's not just reading the books and vomiting in the exam. So strategy consists of mainly these 4 steps. So these steps I have followed for my exam. That's why I have cleared. The first, as I told, I have attended the 2 times, and I could clear it only in the second time. The first time I failed in practice, so I couldn't clear. So you make sure that you should follow all the 4 steps to clear ARS examination first attempt only. Okay. So let us discuss one by one. So notes preparation. So notes preparation. What is notes preparation? It is not like that you have to keep on write the notes for all the. You also note that you also know that there are 8 different units, and you have to cover the notes of all 8 different units. It is not like that you have to write all the 8 units notes in a notebook. It is the collection of notes. It is a gathering of notes. You have to collect whatever the notes, whatever the subject related aspects, you have to collect it. It is by you can take a it is not always you have to write. You can already available sources. Many already available sources are there, like TNU notes, Anglo notes, many short textbooks, or many keynotes, key point notes. There are many textbooks or many short books are available. They can be used, and wherever the notes is ready-made notes is not available, that time only you have to go for notes writing. Okay, this is you have to remember. Do not write notes for all the concepts. Wherever the ready-made notes is available, you have to use that notes only. Suppose, for example, the Anglo notes is available, the TNAU notes is available, and some other textbook like bullet point textbooks or key point textbooks like Redisa textbooks for genetics and plant breeding, and genetics medicine books. These books are very much available, and you can use these books as a note for our ARS exam also. Apart from that, for some topics, don't find a good notes. Okay, such topics has to be written in your own book. Okay, suppose if we take like chapter wise, the first chapter is general genetics and plant breeding. So generally, we all know that this is very age old chapter. We have very good notes available, very good sources available. For this, what I recommend is the books, reading books, reading books. That is both genetics and plant breeding. Apart from that, we can also read NAU plus Anglo notes. So these material are for uh, mains. For prelims, you can add another 2 books, that is Objective Genetics and Objective Plant Breeding by BD Singh, DK Prasad. So for genetics and general genetics and plant breeding, we have BD Singh Genetics and Plant Breeding and BD Singh DK Prasad Objective books. These 4 books we have to cover for attending prelims exam. For writing mains exams, along with textbooks of genetics and plant breeding of BD Singh, you have to also read TNAU notes, Anglo notes, and one more very important note is genetics made easy. This book is very well written, very crisp, very short. So you can directly take the answers from this book and you can write. But this book does not contain any diagrams. For diagrams, like for any kind of transcription, translation, or cell structure, cell division, there are no diagrams in this book. So you have to write the exam with diagrams also. For preparing, like for to get very good pictures or very good diagrams, you can go for genetics book, or you can also take from the internet, or you can also take from the already published review papers. So hope you have understood. And for economic botany and plant breeding methods, you can see this like breeding methods from this to this. We can take this plant breeding methods. We can breeding plant breeding test plus mangrove, and for this portion, whatever I have marked from here to here, can use breeding textbook along with that mangrove and TNU notes. And for economic botany, from this portion to this portion, already notes are available, Anglo notes and TNU notes. That is sufficient enough. And looking to the pattern of questions they ask, most commonly they ask one or two questions in 10 marks or 15 marks regarding like any breeding of particular crop, like what are the biotechnological aspects in breeding for pulses, what are the biotechnological aspects for breeding of oil seeds. So such for answering such questions, you can have can refer to notes and breeding, okay, Anglo and TNU. So this is regarding the second unit, economic botany and plant breeding. And the third chapter, cytogenetics. For cytogenetics, we can refer BD Singh book. So in basic genetics and plant breeding, to here, these all these things covered. BD Singh genetics and plant genetics book, and these things will be covered. These things also will be covered in BD Singh genetics book. For wide hybridization, up to this can cover in plant breeding genetics, plant breeding books of BD Singh, and remaining things we can cover in genetics medicine. Ah, okay, okay, okay. And remaining whatever the remaining things like binding techniques, in situ hybridization, the remaining things, the remaining things like binding techniques, in situ hybridization, and genome organization, cytogenetic techniques, that you can refer from genetics medicine book as well as cytogenetics book of PK Gupta. Okay. So quantitative and biometrical genetics is a very important chapter. So this time most of the questions are from quantitative and biometrical genetics. So almost 10 marks, 15 marks questions are from most of the questions they are from stability and genome gene to interaction part. So this is very important chapter and you have to focus because it is very as a breeder it is very difficult to understand this chapter. But what I recommend is it is very important. Don't skip any part, like any part of this chapter, because every word given here is important. So for this you can refer Singh and Narayan book, and also you can refer BD Singh and breeding book. So the most of the topics will be covered from Singh and Narayan book and BD Singh plant breeding book. Suppose some topics like breeding value, polymorphism, gene to interaction, and some updated concept of stability analysis you won't be finding in these books. For these books, what for these topics, what you have to do is you have to refer the review papers, the latest review papers, whatever they have published. So you have to publish these, you have to read these research or review papers for covering the topics like polymorphism, bidding value, gene to interaction. And genetic engineering and biotechnology tools, we know that BDSing and AKSing book is marker assisted breeding book will cover most of the topics. Apart from that, some pure biotechnological topics can be covered using biotechnology notes of Angro and NU. And you can also take this part, uh, working community, these parts from and breeding. Okay, for this particular chapter, you have to take from three different sources: molecular markers, QTL mapping, and marker set selection. These topics related to these chapters you can refer from BDSing and AKSing. The book is marker assisted breeding, and for the pure biotechnology aspects like you can refer Anglo notes and TNA notes. Like this is the shorter version of this textbook only. If you want more information, you can refer BDSing and BDSing book for genetics and plant breeding. Like increase, if you want it increase, you can refer biotechnology notes for Anglo that is published by Anglo and TNAU. Another important chapter is stress and nutritional quality. Um, Most of the people neglect these chapters. Most people neglect nutritional quality, but it is very important because sometimes you may get the questions like what are the anti-nutritional factors present, or sometimes what are the quality parameters of wheat, what are the quality parameters of rice, what are the breeding aspects to be improved in oil seeds, what are the quality parameters to be improved in oil seeds. This time there was a question for 10 marks stating what are the how to improve the quality of oil seeds. So it is very important aspect. So you will be getting the questions from this nutritional quality also. Similarly, stress also, like stress includes both biotic as well as abiotic stress. So it is very important chapter. You should not neglect this chapter. And for this chapter, we have very good source, that is plant breeding book by BD Singh. BD Singh sir has very well written this book, and we have 4 to 5 chapters for abiotic stress, biotic stress, and nutritional, that is regarding for proteins, oil contents, and everything very well written. And you have to take we have to read all the chapters, that 4 to 5 chapters that is available in plant breeding book of BD Singh. And for this portion, role of molecular markers in stress resistance breeding. So for this one, you can refer the review articles. You can give you can check in the web like role of markers for any disease or any drought stress or any cold stress. You can type it in the Google. So many review papers will be there. So from that, a paper which is published by a very good journal, you can choose that particular paper and you can cover the topic, the role of molecular markers for stress resistance. This is clear, I think. Suppose if you want a list of notes, list of textbooks, like chapter wise, you can also comment back on this video. We can make a separate video on that. What are the list of textbooks and what to cover in that particular textbook? Okay. And the seventh unit is PGR and varietal release and the seed regulations. So for PGR, there is one important chapter in plant breeding book. So that chapter covers entire like quarantine, conservation, and exploration. Everything that chapter will be whatever the terms they have it has been mentioned in this unit. That chapter covers everything. So you can use plant breeding book by BD for covering the PGR one. And varietal release also. There is a chapter in BD plant breeding textbook that is sufficient enough for this one. And for this one, types of seeds, seed chain, seed production, seed certification. How to read seed technology notes. It is by NAU Okay, I think it is clear. For up to this portion, can refer predicing plan bidding book, and for the next portion, the seed portion, it is very clear. Although it is available in predicing book, but I suggest you to go for seed technology notes because it is very clear and crisply explained that in that note. So you can refer any TNU notes or Anglo notes for this seed part. The last unit and most neglected unit, I say most neglected unit, is statistical methods and field plot techniques. So in every exam, there will be a 1 or 2 5 marks questions regarding those statistics or field plot techniques. So it is very important to read this one also. So very good notes is available for statistics, that is available in Anglo website, Anglo or TNAU. So not forget to read all these topics, whatever the topics, you should not miss each. Most of the times we get questions from field plot techniques only. So we have to give more emphasis on field plot techniques. Apart from that, sometimes we also get questions from probability theories like normal distribution or other theories. So we have to read other things also. That everything, whatever the things, whatever you have mentioned, that are available in statistics notes by Anglo and TNU. So you can read this note. So, this is regarding notes preparation. So, in this video, I have clearly explained what are the different notes or what are the different textbooks and what are the different review papers you have to read for collecting the notes. Notes preparation is like gathering the information. huh? Okay, it is not only by writing. We have to augment all the tools. We have to use AI. Now it is the era of AI. You can use AI also for preparing the notes. And apart from that, we can use the review articles already available, already ready-made available notes like Anglo and TNAU, and some specific portions like the most common recently trending topics like marker selection, genomic selections, and other gene to interaction models, where in textbooks where they are not very much clear, like antisense RNA or microRNA technology. For that particular chapter, can refer review articles. So what I tell is, in notes preparation, you have to use review articles, less published notes, less textbooks, plus AI. Why AI? I'll explain now. The next. So you all have understood what is notes preparation, what are the different sources of the information to be from where we can gather the notes. The second is how to read. So this is, suppose if I want to give a weightage for out of 100%, out of 100%, how much time we have to spend in notes preparation, how much time we have to spend in all these four activity. I say each 25 by 25, 25, because all these things contribute equally for your writing mains exam. Once your notes is done, how your notes, then how to read. So you have to read at least 1 to 2 times to understand what is that, what does the topic contains. Suppose if I tell a marker assist selection, you have to take the topic, you have to read what is marker assist selection, what are the advantages, what are the process, what is the process or what is the procedure of marker assist selection, what are the different types of marker assist selection, how we can use it practically with examples. This is how you have to write the notes, this is how you have to organize the notes or collect the notes, and you have to read all these topics. You have to read the topic, you have to understand the topic by reading once or twice. The first reading, you have to understand what in the first reading you will be understanding what is there in the notes. What does this topic exactly? In the second reading, you will be understanding thoroughly. You will be understanding. That means you will be knowing the things. You have to know. If you read it for the second time, you will understand what it is. You should know. You should be in that situation. You should be able to explain others what it is, what marker assist selection exactly it is. The third reading, what you have to do. This is the main thing and the main step. What you have to do is, while reading, you have to guess the questions. Okay, you have to guess what kind of question can I get from this topic. Okay, suppose if I if I am reading a QTL mapping, so while reading you have to guess. So in QTL mapping, what kind of questions I may get? Uh, if I take an example, um, the first question you may get what is QTL mapping and what is the principle of QTL mapping. So I may get it for 5 marks, and accordingly you have to prepare the answer in your mind. So if I get this marks for 5 marks, I'll be writing the definition of QTL mapping in so and so, and the principle of QTL mapping in so and so, and principle you will be writing a diagram. You will be writing a beautiful diagram of mapping. So this is how you have to prepare. This one you can't write and practice because it is very time taking. You have to prepare in your own mind. You have to guess the question. You have to write the answer. You have to think the answer for the question in your own mind. Okay, like that. Same for the QTL mapping. What are the other questions? Like what you may also get 5 marks. What is the difference between single marker analysis and multiple interval mapping? Like that, you have to guess. The other 10 marks question may be what is the procedure for QTL mapping, and you may also get 15 marks questions. You have to guess those questions. You have to make a strategy how to answer in your mind. You have to make a strategy, and you have to cover the topic in such a way. Okay, so why you have to read like this? I told in the third reading you have to guess the question. Why it is so important means, suppose uh, after writing notes you have completed 100%, you have covered 100% of the syllabus, and if you are guessing the questions, you have started the guessing the questions. When you go to the mains exam, like mains exam, you will be seeing whatever the questions that you read. Most if you have guessed the most of the questions, then it will be very easy while writing answer. If you have already guessed the question, and if you are already know the answer, and you already made the strategy in your mind, instead of 3 minutes for one question, you can complete it in 2 minutes and 30 seconds. So remaining 30 seconds you can use it for that question which you couldn't able to guess, which required more time for preparing answer in that particular examination. Hope you have understood this one. Okay, and the third one, third thing is practice. Okay, what is practice? See, before, like suppose if you are going for any kind of games, what we do, we generally practice. 15 days back or 20 days back, you see, like many cricketers, they will be playing cricket in nets, their own field. So they practice, and again they come for the playing main game. Na. So similarly, for exam also, for every exam also, practice like mock test is very important. You have to take at least 5 to 7 marks. That too, if you are taking 7 marks, 5 marks, 5 mock tests should be based on chapter wise, and final 2 marks can be based on total syllabus. Okay. So I told, while reading, you have to guess the question. Okay, you can guess. Suppose if you are read, you will be reading it unit wise. You start it unit. You have to be more organized while reading. Don't start. You start from particular unit. Suppose I told there are so many 8 units. Suppose if you are starting with the plant breeding for stress and nutritional quality, you start you complete this topic and you go to the next topic. It is not like you will be reading a part of it here and reading the part of this one. So you have to be more organized while reading for more clarity. Okay. Once the third grow, I told that you have to guess the questions. After guessing the questions, you can write down the question. You can keep a separate book for that. For the, as I told, like for marker assist section, you can write down the questions. What is marker? What is marker assist selection? What is the principle of marker assist selection? What is foreground selection? What is background selection? What is the difference? How to transfer a gene? And what is genomic selection? What is multi-trait selection? So like that, you can keep on guess the questions. You can formulate the answers in your mind, and at the same time you write in the you note down all these questions in one book also. Once you note down, in the practice, you can give it to any of your friends to pick the questions from that and to make a question paper, or else already made ready-made question answers are available in our website, Agri Addict website. You can also take the mock test from our website. Okay, so as I told, practice is very important. See, when you directly go to the exam and start writing, so although you have prepared, although you have 5% is done, this 25% is done, and you are attending very exam, you have not done the practice, you can give only 75% of your best. and rest of the percent you cannot give. This is because, see, if you are attending the exam first time, you will be lacking in time management. Time management is very serious concern. If you take more time in 5 marks question, you cannot answer the 10 marks questions, or you cannot answer the 15 marks questions. By rating the mark, when I have taken 5, as I written here, 5 marks for individual chapter and 2 marks for total syllabus. While rating first mark, I could not able to complete the 300 marks paper in 180 minutes. Almost I took it 30 minutes extra for completing. Although I know all the answers, but still I could not complete. This is because exam stress. So you may feel like exam stress, or because of time management. When you can reduce this time after taking series of marks, it is better if you take at least 5 marks, so that you can bring down that 30 minutes to 0 minutes. So you can bring down that to 10 minutes to 180 minutes in my case. Okay, so that's what the practice is very important. And the next thing is how to attend the exam. First, let us discuss about prelims. As I told, in prelims, how many questions are there? 150 questions are there in prelims, and you have to attend it in 120 minutes. How you will attend? Whether you will attend all the questions in one go? No, should not be like that. What you have to do is, you have to attend the paper for better results, or getting better marks in the prelims exam. You have to go the paper at least 3 to 4 times. In the first go, what you have to do is, you have to mark the answers which are 10% sure. Suppose there is a question and you know the clear cut answer for that question, where you are 100% sure that that is the correct answer. You have to mark on only those questions, and wherever there is a doubt, or there is something you are still not confident enough, you skip that question and you go to the next question. Why this is very important? By doing so, you will be spending the most of the time on the question what you know. Okay, so there is a more chance of getting uh, attending the questions and getting the good marks. Hope you understood now. And the second go, the second go, the first go will be completing the answers which are 10% sure. In the second go, what you have to do is, the answers which, like, you will be struggling in three options. Okay, you have eliminated two answers, and you will be like, oh, okay, in between, okay, this or this, or something like calculations. They will be giving some probability questions, or some other questions, other Mendelian segregation ratio questions, other problem based questions will be there, where you need to spend more than 1 minute. Such kind of questions can be answered in second go. Okay. Suppose if you have like 1:1 ratio also, you have to, like, 1:1 also, you can attend in the second go. And the third go. The third go is, like, in some question, in some questions, you will, after reading such questions, you will be knowing the answer. Like, yeah, I have read this concept somewhere. This could be the answer. Yeah, I know, I have read this question somewhere, and this could be the answer. So there will be such kind of questions. Such kind of, there will be 5 to 10 questions of this kind. So you have to attend these questions in fourth go. After complete third go. After completing the third go also, if you have more time, then you can go for the fourth go, and you can recheck the answers, like whether you are marked correctly, or whether you are marked all the answers. You can check in the fourth go. So why reading the paper repeatedly is very important. This is because you can spend more time on the questions what you know, and by doing so, you can improve the scoring efficiency. You can mark more right answers. Okay, it will improve your scoring efficiency. This is regarding prelims questions. And one more question most of the students ask is that how many questions I need to attend. So this entirely depend upon the difficulty level of the exam. Suppose the exam is very easy, most of the persons, like, they try to attend maximum questions, and they try to score maximum. If you are attending only minimum number of questions, then the chance of getting good rank will be very low. So what you have to do is, you have to attend more number of questions. When the paper level is very easy, you have to attend the more number of questions. When the paper level is very difficulty, you have to restrict, because you have completed all the syllabus, and your friend also completed all the syllabus, and the questions are from the syllabus which are not like outside, are very difficult. That will be difficult for you as well as other students as well. So what you have to do is, whenever the exam is difficult, you have to stick to the most like 100% answers, and 75% whatever the right things you can choose, that only you have to stick to it. Okay, this is regarding films. If you want more a detailed discussion section regarding prelims, you can comment us. We will share another video for the prelims. And for the mains, so as I told, there will be 5 marks question and 15 marks, and the time duration is 180 minutes. So we have to write these all questions. There will be 25 questions of 5 marks. 5 Okay, we have to complete all these questions in 180 minutes. Okay, so what we have to do here is we have to allocate the time. We have to allocate the time for 5 marks, 10 marks, and 15 marks. How to allocate? Time allocation should be depending on the mark, what marks it carries. See, we have 180 minutes. What we can do is what I did for my ARS exam, or what I suggest is we can give 3 minutes for each 5 marks question, and we can give 6 minutes for each 10 marks question, and can give 9 minutes for each 15 marks question. Okay, this is because in 5 marks question, it is more or less like a A4 size sheet. The heading will be, the heading is like a question. They will give a question in a heading, and the rest of the page is left blank for writing the answer. Almost you have to answer one here. You have to attend 2 pages. Here they will be giving 3 pages for writing the answer. Okay, you have to complete the paper. That means you have to, at least you have to fill the 60 to 75%, at most 80% of the paper should be filled. 3 minutes here, 6 minutes, and for 15 marks it is 9 minutes. Okay, so if you do like that, we can complete the exam in 180 minutes. And one more thing I told is the time allocation should be also dependent on the marks that each question carries. See, I have given for 5 marks 3 minutes I have given. For 10 marks, the marks is doubling here 2 times. So I am doubling the time also 2x. Okay. And for 15 marks, it's 3 times. So I am doubling the time also 3 times. And similarly, the pages also 1 page, 2 page, and 3 page. You can, the most, if you are writing very speed, we can complete the paper in 3 minutes. Minimum 3 minutes is required. So similarly, we have planned. Suppose if you think 15 marks questions are very important, where you can score more marks, and you have to allocate more marks in marks, it is very wrong, because you will be using the time for writing 10 marks and 5 marks questions, and you cannot answer there. So equal distribution is time is very important. This is what the strategy I have followed for writing my ARS examination, and this is the best strategy what I am suggesting for you also. I hope this strategy to attend exam mains is very clear. I have explained in very crisp and very clear manner. And let us discuss for the next part of the exam, that is interview. So as I told, there will be a 1:15 ratio, 3 ratio. Suppose after writing mains, there are 9 seats. 27 students will be called for the interview. Okay. So chances of getting inside, like getting inside to the ARS, chances of getting selected will be very much dependent on the interview, because these 27 students, because these 27 students, what I told, because if the exam is for 300 marks, the marks will be like 200, 98, 196, 195. The difference between individual candidate will be from 1 to 2 marks. Sometimes is 0.5 also. Someone may get 198.5 here, 198. So it is very important to attend and give equal importance to interview also. This time interview is for 5 marks. Generally in interview, is not only the subject matter. They check everything, how you are communicating, how you will be put in a pressure, how you will cope up the pressure, and how you will come back, and how you will how your presence of mind is there in that situation, how you can cope up the pressure and how you will come back, and your communication skills. And how much depth you have understood the subject. Okay, these are the different things that will be evaluated in the interview. So you have to be very much confident in the interview, and you have to speak to the point. And most of the times, the questions what you get, that is from your research publications, or maybe related to those topics only. Suppose I have worked on QTL mapping for drought and heat. The most of the questions will be from QTL mapping, drought, heat, and combined stress. Sometimes if they go the QTL mapping, other than QTL mapping, they can ask GWAS, like in related to biotic stress, like abiotic stress, they can go for abiotic stress or other stress or other conditions. And but the questions, most of the questions will be revolving. Sometimes they ask, what is the area that is affected by drought in India? Like these general questions may be there, and some kind more specific questions like uh, under in which I have worked in wheat. In wheat, what are the responses that you observe under the drought or heat stress conditions? These kinds of questions are very common, and whatever you published, whatever you have published from research papers, review papers, books, and whatever you have mentioned in the summary sheet, most of the questions will come from the summary sheet only. So this is regarding the interview. Okay, this one I have already explained. Okay, and one more thing I forgot to explain is how much. Sometimes they ask, sir, exam is for 300 marks. If you want to get into the interview, how much marks I should get? How much marks I should get in the interview? See, for prelims, there is a cutoff, like minimum cutoff, minimum marks one should score is 45% for 40 and 35. But in mains, they have not given clear cut cutoff marks. But that will be decided by the board after conducting the exam. So for better side, it is better to score more than 50%. That is more than 50, more than 150 for being in a race. Suppose if you want to be qualified for an interview, then you have to score somewhere around 200. That is also depending upon the paper. Last time the paper was very difficult, like 2023 paper was very difficult. So only few could score more than 200. When if the paper is very not so much difficult, many people will score more than 200. So and it is also depends upon the number of seats also. And if you have more number of seats, uh, then the cutoff will generally come down. But selection, who, those who score good marks only, they will be selected. So it is always advised to score more marks. More than 200 will be the better mark. Somewhere around 220 or 230, I say it is a good score for mains. If you score more than 220, 230, you if you are scoring less marks in interview also, then there is no worry. You will be easily selected based on your both 200, both and both mains as well as interview marks. See, and one more thing I forgot is the candidates, they write their answer either in English or Hindi. In mains, in prelims and interview, you can either answer in English, or if you are comfortable in Hindi, you can write it in Hindi also. So I explained regarding Viva and final selection. The final selection will be based on the mains marks and Viva. The mains is for 300, Viva is 340 marks. See? And what I said, the prelims is only qualifying criteria. Is only qualifying criteria. They will not consider it for selecting the candidates. Once they will only count the mains marks and Viva. As I said, it's always good to score more than 200, and if you are scoring 230 or 240, it is a good score, and you are getting like 35 to 41 good score in interview. If you can get this kind of score, you'll be coming in rank 1 or rank 2. So here I just have given vacancy positions in this. So students, this is regarding the clear-cut strategy. I have discussed from the notes preparation, how to prepare notes, what are the sources available, and how to prepare, how to write the notes also. The second thing is reading, how to read while reading, how to analyze the question, how to prepare answer for that question, and how to guess the questions also I have told. And the third part is mock test. You have to, before attending the main exam, you have to attend the mock exam so that you can manage time efficiently. Suppose if you are going directly for the mains exam, you cannot write as efficiently you are writing mock exam. So you have to write mock exam, then you have to go for this one. And the fourth point is regarding writing exam. As I told, you have to give equal importance to 5, 10 and 15 marks questions, and you have to allocate the time accordingly, and you have to finish the this one. You have to finish the exam in time. These are the four points and post suggestive what I have explained. If you have any more queries, or if you want to discuss in further detail regarding any of the topic, you can comment. We will be making a new videos, or we will be solving your queries in the comments. Thank you for listening. Thank you all.